My people, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali opened their own bank. Finally, you're going to find out about that. Some South African researchers went to the Antarctic to do research about what, I don't know, but apparently mayhem is happening over there and they're almost unaliving each other. This is crazy. It's happening in a very cold. You're going to find out about that. 33 people have been unalive on cholera. Do you know what cholera is? It's happening, fellas. You're going to find out about that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. You know, disrespect usually comes when people are poor. Not only when people are poor, but usually when somebody perceives themselves as superior to you. I mean, it's easier to disrespect somebody that's lower in terms of finances than disrespecting somebody on the other side of the spectrum, right? People who are big in society, find it easy to disrespect those who are smaller, as opposed to disrespecting something bigger. You know why? Because you think you may need the bigger person for your improvement. And that's another layer of protection that many people don't really get when they are at the bottom of the scale. Now, fellas, sometimes it's important to be independent, to do your own thing. You're not having to ask somebody money. You have no idea how much freedom that is. Not having to beg for food, not having to wait for somebody to clear up some money for you to live day by day, not having to sleep at somebody's house, where you have rules you have to respect. You leave the house at 6 o'clock, we open the door. You can't go before 6 o'clock because then you're disturbing people's sleep. And you can't come back after 7 p.m. because Papa is already home. Nobody comes after Papa. Crazy stuff. That's why you need independence. Well, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are acquiring independence in the biggest form of it. Now, guess what they've done? They have opened their own bank. Congratulations. Yeah. Pick up my coffee. Like my Kenyan people like to say. Anyway, now, these countries, as you know, have pushed themselves away from these other countries. These are ECOWAS. They were all part of the same group. African countries lying to each other about brotherhood. You know how it goes. My brother. I call you my brother when I want to disrespect you. My brother when I want to correct you in public so you can feel shame. My brother if I want to tell you no about something important. But never my brother when I want to contribute and push you forward. Anyway, now these three countries are the only brothers in Africa. Let me just put it that way for you. They defend each other, they protect one another. Niger, Burkina Faso have come together. They've put money together, about 500 billion CFA franc to start a bank. That's for them to rely on each other, to hold one another so they can move forward away from ECOWAS group. These are the ECOWAS, the bad Africans. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Anyway, they're just very associated with the colonizer. The role of the bank will be to finance strategic projects in infrastructure, energy, agriculture, and industry. Among the priority projects are the creation of a railway connecting member countries of the alliance, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and the establishment of a common airline. Imagine, my brother, imagine that. Establishing a railway between all those countries so they can communicate, so they can cooperate, so they can move, so they can marry, so they can build. It's amazing. Transportation is one of the biggest flows that Africa has. It's very hard to leave one African country to another via roads. It's not necessarily easy. Maybe easy in one country, not necessarily to the other. It's very complicated. In Europe, you can cross Europe through cars. Very easy. In a few days, you cross Europe. Train, even lesser than that. But in Africa, it's very difficult. But you'll see big buildings, politicians buy buildings for the first wife, second wife, third wife. But the first wife will make sure she has the bigger buildings because people need to see that that's the first wife. How do you know that's the first wife? Building is not bigger than the other ones, or a car is not a super SUV. All that's happening in the detriment of the normal human beings who are dying in hospital due to lack of medication because the presidents or whoever works in government did not do the appropriate things to get the tablet and the medics and acquire the necessary tools to enable these people in hospital to work appropriately. Crazy stuff. Africa for you. Now, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali are not like other Africans. They're different. They don't care about your corruption. They don't want to be seen in big SUVs and cars. They just want to build for the people. And this is what they want to do. They want to build a common airline, my brother. Common airline. I mean, when Africa got independence, Some of the African leaders came up with the idea of let's Africa be one. Let's be a confederation like America, state by state, but we one, so we can be powerful. Some of the Africans say, no, we can't do that. Let's just see each other from afar. Why? Because they wanted to rule. Because if Africa was a confederation, then whatever happening in the Congo, you need to report to other country president. If people are suffering in Congo, you as a Congolese president need to report to other presidents. Why are your people suffering? If people are suffering in Niger or Malawi, you need to explain to us why are people not being paid in Malawi. But if you have an independent country, then every leader do whatever you want to do. That's why some African countries are doing okay and some are really shithole countries. I'm sorry, but I need to tell you the truth. Stay with me. Now, Niger, Burkina Faso don't want that. They're going to work together. They've created the bank. They're going to finance infrastructure, energy, agriculture, industry. They're doing a tremendous job already. There's nothing to prove. And one common base is, if you look at these presidents, look at them. What do they have in common? They are all military soldiers. Now, can we say that presidents that come from a military background are actually very necessary in Africa? Maybe in Africa, we have no idea. Because Africans, when it comes to discipline, are a big problem. You sometimes need to treat them in a certain way. Anyway, now we're moving to South Africa. Well, not South Africa, but we're moving to the Antarctic. A member of a South African research team on a remote Antarctic base has accused a colleague of physical assault and making death threat, pleading for immediate action to be taken. Oh, crazy. So what's happening? The person making allegations said they feared for their own and their colleagues' safety, demanding immediate action. So what's happening? Now, this is the world. Look at the map. This is the world. Now, right here is South Africa. Now, down here is the Arctic. Okay? Yeah, it's very, very cold. People don't go there. Actually, you're not allowed to go there. Some people believe that the earth is flat. You know, your flat earthers believe that the earth is flat. That's the theory. Just listen. Don't judge. Just listen. They believe the earth is flat. And at the edge of the earth, it's the Arctic. That's the poles. And the pole is not north and south. They believe the earth is flat. And there could be other world beyond that. That's what they believe. Just relax. Okay? Could be other world that are kept secret from everybody. Look at this map. This is a map that's appeared many years ago. So they believe all these are other worlds beyond what you know, other continents, beyond America, Europe, and Asia, and all that you know. There are many other continents. Anyway, we don't know that. We've never been there. Anyway, let's continue. Now, the South Africans are in the Arctic for research purpose. What kind of research? Apparently for geological research and biological research. So looking for small organisms and all these funny things. I mean, this is where you get all these funny viruses. And then they come to the continent and they Ebola everybody, you know, and you have no cure for it. I mean, apparently organisms live in these ice for millions of years. So they've been frozen. Why would you want to unfreeze them? Anyway, so South Africa is probably among the very few African countries that have stations in those places. Now, apparently the story goes along the line that one of the guys was very pissed off with one of the guys because the other guy was also liking the girl that the other guy liked. So it was big mayhem. And apparently one of the guys broke the other guy's laptop. Now imagine in a remote place when it's very cold, you probably need some companionship. And you need to go through testing and mental training before you go to that place because of isolation. It's cold, okay? So just imagine adults, people doing these bad things. And also, apparently the girl is married. I mean, this is crazy stuff. Oh my word. Like, that's the problem. You see why some people don't want their partners to be scientific, going into the sea with why? Just stay home, you know, have a couple of chicken and a few cows and, you know, lambs in the neighborhood. That's it. Why do you need to go far away? I've got a career. Oh, please, get out of here. So the person got very violent, apparently. Very angry and therefore threatening everybody else's security. So I can just imagine the guy is probably a muscle man, bully, or maybe a thin guy. You know, these thin guys are very dangerous too. With a hammer in the hand, imagine just, yeah. So it's mayhem. Now the South African government said they need 2 months to actually save somebody from that place. So it's crazy stuff. Now in Ethiopia, fellas, 31 people have been unalive rapidly from cholera. You don't want cholera. So this is crazy. About 1,500 people are sick in Ethiopia, according to Doctors Without Borders. And cholera is a very, very bad disease. So cholera actually gives you diarrhea, runny stomach for 24, 48 hours for the strongest, you're done. So something needs to be done about it. Apparently, it started in South Sudan. South Sudan, about 1,300 people were unalive of cholera. And that's combined with violence happening on that side. I mean, imagine violence and cholera at the same time. You want to go hide yourself from gunmen and you start... Oh, bad. Like, what do? Do you hold it in when they're passing you with guns? What if you can't hold it in and the stuff are coming out? No. Okay, guys. Too much YouTube for the day. Thank you very much, fellas. It was a great pleasure. Let me know how you feel about this. Niger has opened a bank for themselves. Burkina Faso and Mali are going to profit from it. They're moving forward. Do you think they're moving forward or they're lying to us? God bless.